Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I have my boyfriend Chandler here with me, and we're going to be doing Truth or Drink. I've seen a lot of YouTubers do this on their channels, and it's so funny.
Basically, the object of the game is we're going to pick out of the hat a truth. We don't want to answer the truth, then the person has to drink. We got tequila, we got blue raspberry vodka, we got apple vodka, we have Fireball, apple whiskey, and then Malibu Caribbean rum with coconut liquor in it.
We wrote down 10 questions each and folded them up and put them in a hat. So I don't know some of the questions, he doesn't know some of the questions, so that's why this game is going to be really interesting. We both pre-gamed before this. I went out and drank.
First off, you pre-gamed way more than I did. I had one hard mics. That is 5% alcohol. That's not even a pre-game.
Shortest amount of time you've known someone before hooking up. It was like 2 months.
When they're saying hook up, they don't mean sex, they mean they kissed.
I'm trying to use my experience to kind of like do this question.
I think my shortest amount of time was like a half hour. I was at a party. Met this guy, half hour later I was fucking him. Have you thought of anyone else / looked at anyone during our relationship? Like a real person? You look at fucking Harry Styles all the fucking time. So how is that any different?
No.
So how are you gonna get jealous of me if I even said yes? Cause like I had fantasies of like celebrities and shit.
What's the most scandalous location you've had sex in? Scandalous can be subjective. Like in your mind, you can make it scandalous, and like you can be like in another location in your mind. But physically, no, not really scandalous. I think it was always just indoors.
Most disgusting habit you have? I guess biting my nails is probably my most disgusting habit. I had a period of time where I wasn't biting my nails, but like I have this like an oral fixation thing, which I always need to be like doing something with my mouth and everything.
Got it.
It's not sexual. Stop looking at me like that. No, but it's like I chew the inside of my mouth too. I just randomly would bite them because I think I was like anxious and stuff like that. It's mainly because of anxiety.
How many children do you want? No more than 3 kids. Even for me, I feel like 3 could be like,
No one can have 1 child because they're gonna be spoiled as fuck. 3 is just too little of a family. 3 is that basic family where they're like, oh my god, we have a large family. And it's like, oh my god, how many kids you have? 3, they're a handful. It's like, bitch, you got a family of 5. That's nothing. The least amount of children I want is like 4 or 5. 4 is just 1 more mouth than 3. Why is that such a big deal?
When you come from a big family, of course you want a big family.
That's
you
not
pass
true.
on
No,
the
some
thing.
people don't even want a family because they have a big family.
Well, I'm not saying that is the general thing, but it just seems like in your case.
Like 3 is just like, it makes sense that's the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But I don't want the bare minimum. Like I want a family.
Yeah.
So
a family could be a family of 3.
I'm not saying like if you only have 2 kids, that's not a family. That is your family. But I'm just saying in my life, for the family that I want, that's like the bare minimum.
I don't see 3 as like a bare minimum, and I don't see it as a minimum, so it's not like I'm settling for a bare minimum.
I feel like you just think
kids.
that because you come from a family of 3 kids.
I'm not saying someone isn't able to. I'm more talking about what I think I'm able to do and what my comfortability is. I'm not saying this person shouldn't do this person shouldn't do this. I'm just saying for me, I feel comfortable if I just have like a family of 5. I won't know until I'm ready, and I won't know until I'm there. So everything I'm saying right now might change in the future, so none of this stuff really matters. It's not relevant.
I think I'm just so mature that like it does matter. You don't have to think about having a family right now, but you gotta think about the future. Because like ideally you wanna know the person for like, you know, 2 to 3 years before you start having a family with them. What's the number 1 thing you would never want your parents to find out about you? I'm pretty sure the things that I've done in my life is nothing crazier than what my parents have done. Maybe my stepdad, yes, but definitely not my mom.
Do you plan on proposing? Chandler wants to propose because he's the man. I'll let him have that right, but I think it'd also be cute, not to make it a gender thing, but I think it'd be cute also if I did it too.
Wait, like you propose after I propose?
Not on the same day.
I just feel like that's very gay and very tacky.
We are gay.
I'm not gay and tacky though. That sounds so gay.
If I proposed, do you feel like that would do something to your masculinity?
No, it has nothing to do with my masculinity. It's just like, it takes time for me to like evaluate things. I want everything in my life to happen like at a good time, so I can like retire early and like enjoy life.
Right.
So it's like, might as well do that with like my actual true partner. I'd rather propose just because like I know I'm ready. I'm not just being asked the question and being like, like I can't answer right on the spot. I really have to evaluate it. So if I'm proposing, then I am truly ready.
What if I feel truly ready?
That doesn't mean that I feel truly ready.
Well, what if you're truly ready, but I'm not truly ready?
That's fine. Then I'll ask later on. I'm ready when I ask. If you just randomly like be like, will you marry me? I'll be like, whoa, put a fucking pin in that. Like I got like, let me just, you know, come back to you 2 weeks later, like 10 to 12 business days. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Company's really busy. I mean, I don't know if I can fit this in the schedule.
I'm his client.
What's the most degrading thing you've ever done during sex? Literally someone they liked role play things and they loved acting like the prisoner and like I was like the guard or whatever. So it's like, it was just really weird. And
but you consented to it.
Well, yeah, like I like being controlled. I think it's literally called just being degraded. They wanted me to say like really mean things. Not like being like always such a slut, because like that's not so degrading during sex. That was the last time I hooked up because I just felt like so weird. Because like I don't like degrading people and like thinking like belittle them in any way and stuff. So it's just like, how can you get pleasure from that?
Probably like deep rooted issues.
It's like
coming
yeah.
into play.
So it's like it was just really weird. That was the last time I saw her. So
biggest fear. Ooh, there's a lot because I have anxiety. I don't like heights.
Really?
I don't. I get scared of heights. Like if I go on certain rides or whatever, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Have you gone like the Sasquatch?
I opened my eyes on the ride and looked down, and I was so scared because
you're not supposed to look down. You're supposed to look at the view.
Okay, yeah, but the view is scary because
no, the view is beautiful.
The feeling in your stomach when it drops. I know there's two different kinds. One that goes fast
the launch and the drop.
The drop makes me feel like I'm dying.
I'm the opposite. I love heights. I used to like climb up things when I was a kid and jump off them.
Not me, because I'm afraid I would like break something, hurt myself.
See, my biggest fear is the ocean because like what 80% of it we haven't discovered.
Oh, that makes
and there's
sense.
like so many sea creatures that we don't even know. Like I have all these goals. Am I going for all of them? No, because I'm fucking terrified. You know what I mean? Because like all the life consequences of it, like you know, money and just mainly money. Mainly it's fucking money.
Yeah,
it's
usually.
bullshit. Would you ever go back to your ex?
I know he would go back to you based on that phone call we had before. Yo, he's gonna drink, but I'm sure it's for reasons that he can't explain.
It's complicated, therefore I can't explain it. Either way I explain it, you would get upset. Even if I say no, but like I give you some explaining of like why I would think it, like for a second, you would still get upset. Because the thing is, it's like, I'm Sam's first relationship. Like, true relationship. The other ones were like months. Like 3-4 months, maybe tops.
Even though I don't know detail about it, I can kind of understand, because if someone's a part of your life for 3 years, there's probably a lot that went on during that. Like maybe they shaped you in some way, or maybe a lot happened during that time where you just get each other and you knew each other in high school. So maybe like it's not a definite no because there's just history, chemistry, there's things. That's the only thing I can maybe think of. So like, no, I'm not gonna be upset because I don't know. What is your, body count? I think there shouldn't be any like shaming with people who've been with a lot of people, and there also shouldn't be any shaming with people who have only been with a couple people. I know a lot of people in my life who their first person they've ever dated is the person they're gonna spend the rest of their life with, or the second person they've dated. I think that's almost beautiful when at an early age you find someone who you really like and you're gonna stay with them, and now your body count is now not growing. Because now you've just found
also,
someone.
body counts doesn't really matter because it's like a lot of them could just be like one night stands, like hit it and quit it, you know what I mean? Sex gets kinkier when like you know the person longer. It just becomes more fulfilling. It's just better when you're in a relationship a lot longer. A person can have one body count, but they could be like so much more kinkier and so much more sexually satisfied than someone that has a body count of 15.
I would rather be like in a fulfilling relationship and be happy than like just going around fucking people just for the sake of it and not being happy. Because I feel like most people just fuck because it's like, oh, I'm gonna be more cool, or like people are gonna think this about me or something.
I feel targeted.
There are people who liked me and I didn't like them back. So what am I supposed to do, force myself to be with them? No, I'm not gonna do that. So that's why I never dated anyone, because either I didn't like them or they didn't like me. It just never worked out. I'm not just gonna fuck people and be with people and then lead them on in a relationship.
I feel like when it comes to people within the LGBTQ plus community though, once they're out, their body count increases like majorly. I only had like, what, 2, 3 before I came out.
Also, no one in my friend group I liked. I know some people in friend groups kind of do that thing, which is normal, but like, no, I didn't like anyone in my friend group like that, so I was just hanging out with friends all the time. How am I supposed to date people if I'm just hanging out with my friends?
I definitely had like some sexual attraction towards certain people in my friend group. Like I never like engaged on it because like dysphoria, but also like it's kind of weird to like randomly be like, I know we've been friends for like 1.5 years now, but I find you sexually attractive. So it's just like, you know, like how do you do that? There was this one chick I hooked up, she didn't know I was trans. She wanted like a relationship out of the deal and everything like that. And like I didn't, like it was an agreement that we were gonna just hook up or whatever. She told me that she was pregnant and she's like, yeah, I got pregnant. I was like, well honey, that fucking can't happen. So like.
Was she confused by that?
Yeah, she was so confused and it was like, yeah, it was just so funny though. Do you wish you were with the other gender?
I'm non-binary, so technically I don't have a gender, so it's saying, you know how I should have worded it? Someone who is the opposite sex, because
No, because I'm bisexual.
I didn't know if you had a higher preference.
No, that's so stupid. No, I don't, because it's like, if you're sexually attracted to both, therefore you don't have a really like a preference with both. I don't like extremely feminine people where they're like, so many people that think that pansexuality it just includes trans individuals. I cannot label myself pansexual because it's very transphobic.
Oh. I always thought bisexual was a binary sexuality. So if I'm non-binary and bisexual means like you like men and women, what if you're not a man or a woman?
Well, no, bisexual just means that you're attracted to like both sexual parts. Because like why the fuck does it matter if that part identifies as non-binary? It's still that part. I'm sexually attracted to like all human forms, so it's like why the fuck does it matter?
That's true. Some bisexual people won't date non-binary people because they see it differently than you. They see it as man and woman, not non-binary, whereas you see it more like parts, not the identity. So that's what pansexuality is more like. I would date a man, woman, or non-binary person.
Well, it's just because like a lot of people that identify pansexually throughout my life and like especially on Instagram, it just sounds so transphobic because it's like I will date a man, woman, transgendered individual, and they always say transgendered, and it's like first off, no. I can't identify myself with that sexuality because there's so many people within that community of that sexuality that are kind of transphobic, whether they realize it or not.
Worst date you've ever had? Obviously, my best date was the one with Chandler. That's why we are here today. We had a date the full day, to the point where I didn't even check my text messages and my mom got worried. That's how you know you're having a good date, when you don't even check your phone.
Watched Rocket Man, and then walked around Saratoga, and walked around a golf course, and then a park.
Worst date though. See, at the time I wouldn't even say it was a worst date, but now thinking back to it, like in retrospect, yeah, kind of worst date. But like nothing embarrassing happened, it was kind of regular. We went to the mall. See, I don't have a worst date because it didn't go bad, but thinking about it now, it was just an awkward date. The one with Aries, she was supposed to come to my campus, and that was going to be our date. I don't know, she never showed up.
Okay, then I would categorize that as the worst date. You got ghosted.
I bought balloons. I bought flowers. I was prepared for when I bought a card. But yeah, so I had all this stuff and then she never showed up, so I just kept the balloons for myself. So that's my worst.
What porn turns you on? Pretty much like bisexual threesomes.
2 boys or 2 girls?
Both. Probably like 2 boys and 1 girl. But yeah, no, just like bisexual threesomes.
Which we were thinking of having one in the future when you have top surgery and when we're both comfortable with our bodies, because right now I'm so insecure. I don't even like him looking at me when I get dressed. In the future, I don't know how I'm gonna feel, especially if it's with another person I don't know, and then I don't know if jealousy is gonna be involved, but you shouldn't because it's just a person for that time. Well, I'm so insecure that I care a lot about what people think even if I don't know them. So I'm afraid that they're just gonna like want you the whole time. Like I'm just gonna be like that third who's like barely doing. You see that threesome.
Watching and just eating chips.
But also like the other way around as well, obviously. Ever sent a sexy pic? Yes, I have. I've sent nudes. I've received them as well. So yes, I've sent a sexy pic.
Most embarrassing thing you've been caught doing? Even when I was a kid, I was caught doing something I thought was so embarrassing, but really wasn't. I haven't done anything really embarrassing. Not even just being caught. Like when I was like researching a lot of like trans things, just like on my phone, just randomly and stuff like that, and someone like walked in the room and like started a conversation with me. It's like they didn't really caught me or like really looked at my phone, but it's like
Yeah.
that embarrassing moment. It was like, oh shit, I'm caught, but like no one really looked at my phone, so therefore they don't know what you're researching. I feel like that's maybe like a dysphoric embarrassing thing.
I feel like that could count.
Does
Again,
that
it's
count?
subjective,
Like, I
but
don't
maybe
know.
you should just take a shot.
I'm gonna try this Malibu. That was a lot of coconut. That was good. It's only 21% alcohol, so it hits you as strong first, but then this power of coconut, and then it becomes really smooth, like a vanilla taste.
Ever thought of ending this relationship? Sometimes it can be up and down, so it's not like I've ever wanted to end the relationship. It was more like I had a fear of it ending, not by my choice. I felt like our communication was just like off. It kind of felt like, it didn't feel like this, it kind of felt like this, and we were like arguing and stuff, and it kind of, I was just like, oh, hopefully like this resolves itself.
Like texting and all this other shit, you don't get exactly the message that the person implied sending. You read it in the tone as what you see,
Yeah, I hate
as
that.
you perceive it as. So it's like you can read it as like sarcastic or like whatever, and it's like that person didn't mean it as that. And then also like certain people don't understand like what the other person is implying as a joke. Maybe it's like the delivery or like the other person receiving it.
Also, it's sometimes I'm like very negative in my head a lot, so sometimes when I read something that you say, sometimes I read it in the way that my head is just thinking it. Also, we do Snapchat, so you can kind of see the person's facial expressions, which kind of goes with it, so you can kind of get like
Well, you have a bitch face a lot of times too. And you
I don't
don't
like
mean to have a bitch face.
I don't like
too.
smiling and
So it's just
everything.
like, wait a minute, is this person really being bitchy to me right now? So it's like, I can't tell your mood when you just have a resting bitch face. You look sassy, so therefore I read the message as sassy, and it's like, wait a minute, where is this coming from?
But then I get confused because now you're showing me a little more
Well,
hostility,
because
and now
you showed me
I'm.
that, exactly.
So it starts like that, like you
It's just
assume.
like, it's like a snowball effect, and then it becomes like this random argument that came out of nowhere, and it's like everyone's attacked. Like, we never really attacked each other's throats or anything. We're just like, okay, well maybe this is a communication issue because I never meant that.
There's always like layers to a situation and like a person.
Yeah. I'm just so used to people attacking my life, like the way I grew up and my family and stuff, and also the side factor of being trans included into that. Would you let past experiences
There you go.
and unresolved
I couldn't fit it all.
trauma make it harder for you to open up and see other perspectives?
Yes, that's what I meant.
No.
Okay.
I'm a very open-minded individual ever since a young age. Like, that's the thing with me. Like, even with debates, I see both sides. I evaluate and do so much research before I choose a side. So, like, when I choose a side, I'm very fucking strong on that side. Like, I've done my research. I'm not an arrogant motherfucker that's like, you know, just saying shit because it's popular or whatever. I'm a very open-minded individual. I try to be in all scenarios. I see both sides. Like, I evaluate every scenario and stuff like that. So therefore, like, I kind of am my own therapist. I read a lot of books, like scientific books too. It's just like, I don't know, like, I just know a lot of people with similar problems that have seen therapists and like what other therapists have said and stuff like that. So it's just like I'm very good at evaluating things.
That's the thing, like people are so different, things work for different people. Some people need to talk things out to help, some people don't work well with talking things out.
I had other
Yeah.
people to go through the trauma that I went through, so therefore I think that's why I developed so maturely out of it.
Biggest lie you've ever told? Well, it wasn't in this relationship, so that's good. It was probably just throughout my life, maybe to my parents.
If you can't tell us a lie, then you have to take a shot. It's like an apple vodka, 5% apple juice, and natural flavoring.
Well, let's try that one.
Oh, it smells like green apples.
It smells strong.
Does it taste good?
Tastes like apple. Tastes like I just ate a green apple.
Alright, so last one. Biggest turn off. Okay, biggest turn off sexually is like when they're like extremely dominant, straightforward, like wanting to do like really weird kinks at first. I'm talking about like really weird kinks. You gotta warm up to that shit.
I would role play, but the thing is if I'm doing, like I can watch it and be like fine, but if I'm doing it, I feel like I would laugh because it's acting, pretending to be like a teacher or a doctor or something, like.
But you're being sexually pleasured at the same time, so
I
therefore
know.
it's like rewarding, so therefore the acting doesn't seem so silly.
I wouldn't be laughing if I was the submissive one because it feels more real, but if I had to be the dominant one in a role play, I would laugh. Because it's out of character
it's very
for me.
weird.
Because it's out of character for me, because I'm not a dominant person in real life. so it's gonna be weird for me. Whereas some people are submissive in real life and dominant in the bedroom, vice versa.
And then biggest turn off in a relationship, like always just making it about themselves. Like never like hearing what you're saying. And like they always say like it's a compromise, but like in the end you realize the compromise is just what they want. It's like, bitch, that's not a compromise.
I feel like subconsciously I might do that, but it's unintentional.
Well, because like a lot of people think like their compromise is the better one, and it's like the more.
But that's not a
realistic
compromise.
one. That's not a compromise. Yeah, exactly. Compromise is when like you take both, like you create a new solution. That's the biggest turn off because it's just like you're not even like including me.
It's weird because I'm like that same way too. Like I have that fear because of like the way you were brought up and then me brought up, like they're opposites, and then you have these ways. And some I agree with, some I'm like, I'm not sure. So I don't want it to feel like, you know, by the time we have kids that like, oh, like your parenting style, like we're not doing that. And like, mine's better and I'm gonna be the favorite and like my parenting way is better. The way my parents raised me, I'm not going to be doing a lot of that to my kids because I know there's a line. So like there's a certain percent I'm not gonna pass down. But then there are a certain percent where it's like I was fine with the way, some of the way my parents raised me, I guess. So I kind of have that instilled in me and I kind of want to pass that down. We're both so different in how we were raised, so we kind of disagree on some things.
I think I'm just so open in the fact that people have to take responsibility even at a young age. I feel like that's what you don't accept. Like I'm not gonna be so controlling over my kids and everything. Like sure, you're probably gonna be like controlling over like, oh, I'm protecting them, but like at the same time they have to learn certain things even at a young age. There's certain life lessons that you still have to learn. Like I don't want my kids to think that things are just handed down to them. And that, you know, and it's like, I want them to realize, like, their life is better than others. I want my kids to be open-minded and stuff like that, see all sides. So it's like, I'm going to teach them all that. The thing about parenting is, it's like, you can't actually develop your children. Your children develop around you, and you're supposed to adapt to that. Yes, you're supposed to parent them, but you can't force them to think certain ways. Everyone's different, everyone has a different thinking process.
I already know certain examples in my head that I am not going to do the same as what my parents did to me. I already know that and I'm not doing that because I know how that felt and I know the pain that I went through feeling that way, and that's not good, so I'm not going to be that person. There are other things that I thought were very, very constructive and very valuable to me that have made me the person that I am today. I don't know what I'm going to be like as a parent because I'm not there yet. Because I was raised a certain way and it's like you think that's right, and then like you see other people's childhoods and you're like, is that right? Is that how it's supposed to be? But I thought this is how it was supposed to be. Now you're kind of like blending both worlds together.
I feel like anyone that says that there's a certain way of parenting is right, it's actually very destructive and mind controlling.
Oh, that was never said to me, but that was like almost, it kind of felt implied.
I feel like all parents should just be open-minded, honestly. Like my mom is definitely. Like yes, you still do some parenting things, like you teach some things, but it's like you don't control your kids. You can't control what your child is going to turn out to be. In humanity, there's no morals. When you really deep down dive into it, there's always a reasoning between something, like why certain people do certain things. Did you have fun?
Oh, I had a lot of fun. I love talking.
You took one fucking shot. I took 3, right? 3?
Yes, he took more shots than me, but still, I was happy just with my one shot because that was pretty strong. If you want more videos like this, tell us down below.
And you can find me on my channel at Alternate Journey, where I do a lot of videos. Just check it out. I have a lot of different shit, so it's something that you'll like.
Go check out my main channel, Queen Halo, where I talk about the latest updates on One Direction. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
I'll most likely be in it.
Bye, guys.
What? People come here for me. Don't lie.
Bye, guys.
I'm a bye guy.